Welcome to a very wet Mondello for the Junior 1000 Motorsport Ireland Academy Development Day. It's going to be a great day. We're going to walk around, catch some of the action, see what happens behind the scenes at these development days. Josh McErlane is here in the Rally 1 Puma. We're going to dip in and out. There's fitness training, there's driver training. We hope you enjoy this episode. John Coyne, it's a surreal day for yourself that it's grown to a Rally 1 car in Ireland.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, to have the car here and Josh and Owen here running, you know, there's only 10 Rally 1 drivers in the world, and to be at that level and doing a really good job of it so far, that's very satisfying.
Now I'm going to go back to the right start of this journey with a certain Sean McHugh. There was stories of him driving down to Killarney, cold calling, basically saying, my name is Sean McHugh, can I have a cup of tea? Tell us about that. Tell us a bit more of the background to that story.
Yeah, I was at a dinner for, I think it was the 40th or 50th anniversary of the Tarmac Championship, and I made a little pitch that, you know, guys like me who were reasonably well off and had been knocking great fun out of rallying here in Ireland and around the world for years should be putting something back in the sport and helping to grow the popularity of the sport. So Sean and I got together, had a little meeting, realized that we had the same passion for the sport and the same kind of vision of how we could create a pathway from Irish rallying to the World Championship. And we started the academy, and you know, in the years since, we've created, or at least enabled, 4 world champions: William Creighton and Liam Regan, the Junior World Rally Championship, and Fuzzy in the WRC 3 Junior, I think, and Brian Hoy with Colin Devine.
It's been an incredible journey in a really short space of time, John. And don't forget, with that torture of COVID thrown there, so you can minus a year and a half, that probably the progress wouldn't have been as straightforward.
Yeah, we really lost the first year and a half. We managed to work around a little bit. I brought the boys over to America, we did some rallies there, but all in all, it's like the 6 years has flown by, and we, you know, I think by any measure, we've been pretty successful at the objectives. You know, the overall objective is to create a world champion within 10 years, and we've only 4 to go. A little bit of pressure on Josh there, but really, what's really good is the first year there were only 3 J1000s out regularly competing.
Now there's 28. Was there a Moonraker or something?
32 registered for the championship. And yeah, so I mean, that growth in the base of the pyramid is really fantastic. We see several of them now doing left-hand drive versions of the car.
So it shows you where they're thinking.
Well, they're thinking about the future. And then Rally 4 and Class 2A, the R2T and the Rally 4, I think we've maybe pushing 20 cars now in the country. And 6 years ago, again, there were like 1 or 2. So the message about the homologated pathway going up the FIA pyramid is taking root. And then, then Rally 3 and Rally 2. And
there's a lot of balls in the air, like, you know, it's good that, you know, obviously Sean has such vision Like, I often credit Sean with coming up with the Billy Coleman Award back when he was friendly with Rory Gallagher. I remember being at that club meeting in Mayo, and obviously it went a different direction, and Sean went a different direction, but it's great to see him come back. The passion, obviously, you can have as much passion, but if you don't have the fund and the resources to do it, but I'm sure you see the work that everyone's putting in, that Sean's putting in, and obviously you work well as a team, you bounce off each other with ideas, and I'm sure you never sit still on the next phase or what you're planning on next. I would say this, you probably have that, you're on about 4 years, you probably have 4 years already plotted out.
Yeah, the whole thing is a strategic plan, not just a reactive thing, right? So, yeah, I think we put in a very good foundation. Sean found some really good people with Alan Heary as the performance director, and with our nutrition programs and the physical fitness and the mental fitness, and then pace note practice and all the building blocks that go into trying to create professional athletes. And that's been really good. So we have a solid foundation and a good process developed. Sean then runs himself ragged, looking after all the Ireland and UK stuff and the European Championship. And then I'm my full-time gig is Josh and Owen in the World Championship.
Just rewind quickly, okay? So before this came about, what would your, life in America must have been considerably quiet? Maybe I'm assuming was considerably quiet than it is now. I mean, I look on Facebook, you're always flying somewhere, obviously, but you're flying for a reason. You're part of the team. You're, the heartbeat of the whole program here. It must be pretty special to be getting on a flight and saying, I left Ireland in the 80s. I built a substantial business, built substantial success, and lots of people are happy to do that and enjoy their own success and buying the stuff they want to buy. But to put it back in to motorsport is something unbelievable. That you've got to that status of your life. It must be very rewarding for you to, because they always say, the hierarchy of needs.
Right.
The ultimate is, self-actualization, where, people are, where you've built yourself. It's not money, it's not anything, but it must be incredibly proud for you to get on a flight and head to the Canaries next week and to be as I said, the heartbeat of this whole program.
Yeah, for me, I retired in 2013, and then I went back rallying myself in the historics from 2015 onwards, I think. Doing a bit in the US and a bit back here in Ireland, and but this program has really certainly fills the days, but it's really rewarding to see not just the success we've had in building the skills in rallying, but looking at these young teenagers developing into mature mid-20s, fully rounded individuals. So it's that kind of life skills as well as the rally skills.
I often say about the Junior Thousands as well, sorry for taking across your point, that if none of them progress into the next division, the craft they've learned for their road driving will be testament to Junior 1000 as well. If in an icy morning or if the car breaks away, the skills they're been learning.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And of course, we've 30 J1000s. Sorry to break it to you, but not all of them are going to make it to the top, right? But they will learn a lot along the way from the process, and a few of them will go up the ladder, and hopefully, part of the objective of this thing was to create a kind of halo effect that made rallying more popular, so that we would have a bigger pool to identify skills in and develop, and hopefully out of that we'll find the next and the next that can go on to the top.
Well, John, it was a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck for the future.
All right, thanks, Gillian.
Josh, it's a surreal day. Mondello Park, obviously the conditions are really wet here, but it's awesome in front of your home crowd, Rally 1 driver. It's a bit surreal, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a mighty opportunity, obviously, to show the Ford Puma Rally 1 car off. The first time I think a Rally 1 car has been in Ireland. And it's nice because it's the Junior 1000 Development Day originally started as, and John and Rich Milner from M Sport decided to get the car over and show it off to the Irish rallying community. So super nice, a lot of fans about, very cool atmosphere, and excited to get the day started.
Of course, a lot of people are getting spins with you today. What's been the reaction? I'm sure it's been incredible.
Yeah, it's very nice. Oisin McShane was the first guy, and he's won the Junior 1000 Championship last year. It's been 9 years since we were in J1000, so it shows you the progression right up through the FA Rally Pyramid, that what you can do with the right people and right contacts. So no, it's been nice, a lot of smiles and a lot of happy people, so let's keep it going.
It's nice to be involved with M Sport. You know, obviously you're come from a rally family, you're steeped in motorsport, your cousins, your relations, but there's that atmosphere in M Sport as well.
Yeah, it kind of translates, I would say. Not even that there, but the Irish mentality, the Irish way of thinking. There's a lot of Irish people work in M Sport, so Rich is a sound guy. Malcolm's a very, very intelligent guy. He's been there a long time. He's been in the sport a long time, and I think M Sport's been one of the longest teams in the World Rally Championship. So to have that pedigree, to be in that atmosphere is good for me as a young driver, because there's a lot to learn in that world, and yeah, it's a big vicious world out there, but you have to keep on swimming in the deep end.
Yeah, it is, exactly. You're swimming in the deep end, but there's not a huge amount of pressure. I mean, you've already, it's probably not surpassed expectations, but the times have been proven this year that you have good speed. It's just about getting the experience of the rounds in a Rally 1 car now, really, isn't it?
Exactly that there. Each round you go to around the world is a different character, stages, different nature of land, from gravel to snow to tarmac, it has it all. But not only that, this car, the aerodynamics, the downforce it creates, it's a lot to get used to in a short space of time, because December last year we didn't even know this was on the cards. So a busy Christmas, a busy start to the year, but slowly but surely we're settling into the new environment.
Best of luck in the Canaries.
Thank you.
Aidan Harper, a surreal day. I just said to Josh McElwain for Irish Motorsport and Motorsport Ireland.
Absolutely. Look, in the old days they would have called a day like this a red letter day. Today's a red letter day, and a lot of people will know what that is, but it's an exceptional day in our sport. To have this Rally 1 car here in Mondello, to have Josh here, to have John here, to have the whole Academy team here, they're absolutely incredible. M Sport over here, you know, it's a dream come true. And for me, and for the rally fraternity, it's a build-up hopefully towards what we can deliver in a WRC event. We're still working away to achieve to bring that event here to Ireland. I firmly believe we can do that with the support of the government, but imagine having 31 of these trundling through the roads of Ireland here, the stages that are built for these, where the teams want to come. You know, really, really incredible.
You just have to look at the lineup of machinery of every event around the country. You know, we have the National Championship, Tarmac Championship, Forestry Championship, every single rally that takes place in this country, they're almost oversubscribed. Rally 2 cars everywhere, modern machinery. Like, the level of rallying here is higher than anywhere else in the world, I would say.
It's gone through the roof. Look at the reserve lists at the events. Look at the recent forestries. Look at the J1000s. Look at the amount of J1000s we have here upstairs today. Like, it's so encouraging to see this. We are the envy of other ASNs around the world. There's absolutely no doubt about that. At a recent meeting, we're on the top of the agenda for what we're doing for our people in sport. And we're a country that enjoys rallying. We foster it, and we have the tarmac and the forestries to deliver on it. But for me as president, it's so encouraging to see the youth coming forward, because they are the pinnacle of what our sport is going to be in the future.
Sean, I've been saying it to everyone, a pretty surreal day for the Motorsport Ireland Academy. Of course, yourself and John Coyne are heavily involved in the reincarnation of this and the success story of it.
Yeah, we're having a great day here. Like, as you know from the past, we have a J1000 development training day regular. We have them one every year, usually in the Easter holidays. But then the availability, the possibility of showing off the Rally Pyramid, we threw it out as just a mad idea to Richard Milner and M Sport there about 2 months ago. He said, oh, yeah, of course we'll bring a car to Ireland. We said, well, what can they just? So thanks to M Sport, thanks to Rich and his team for coming here today. John Coyne has brought his own Rally 2 car, and what we're able to show today is we're showing both the public and the Academy members, and of course our J1000 registered crews who do the forestry. They are able to see the Rally Pyramid in reality, the cars and the various options, and then there are people getting runs with Josh around the track, and also with John Armstrong, and our Academy drivers are also driving John Coyne's Hyundai Rally 2 around the track as well.
It's a bit surreal seeing a Rally 1 car. This is the top of the pyramid, the absolute top, pinnacle of the sport. It's equivalent to having, you know, top footballer here in the world. Here in Mondello with the Motorsport Ireland branded on it, it's incredible.
Yes, well, it's as you would know, it's the first. These cars aren't allowed at Irish or national, international level. They're only world cars. So these cars are usually only ever seen on the world stage. So to have an actual top running, and it is an actual Ford car that's here here today. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for both us to demonstrate the pyramid and for others to see what we're about. But again, it's just such an honour to have InSport and a Rally 1 car here. And again, for people that may not know, like, there are only 10 of these cars, of these drivers, Toyota, Hyundai and Ford, in the world, and one of those 10 is both an Irish driver, and that car is here today being demonstrated by our driver Josh and by his co-driver who was coordinating Owen Tracy.
Owen, a big day in the parish. It's great to see the Rally 1 car here. You'll be competing abroad and sometimes it's a bit removed from your home soil, but to see so many of your friends, family around, it's a great moment for you.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Like, I know the weather's raining here, but spirits are really high, and it's great to see such a good crowd. Like, all here to see this fantastic machine. It's an honour to sit in it, and you're really reminded when you come back here and see so many people interested in the car and looking around it, getting videos of it on the track. So it's absolutely brilliant, and to see the J1000s out and about in their cars as well. Getting to compete, race around the track, and there's also a Rally 1 car going around the track. That's not often, so it's great to see everyone getting a great day out.
It's been a great journey for you. Obviously, it's a high pressure seat, but you're taking it all in your stride. You're enjoying the journey, the whole journey of your co-driving career, we'll say.
Yeah, it's been very, very quick. It's obviously very challenging, especially last year and this year, making those steps up to ERC and then into this car, learning new drivers all the time. Very challenging, but it's been so exciting, so fun. It's a pleasure to do it, and if I can keep learning over this year, I'm just delighted to be there. And I suppose with the help of the Academy and the likes of Paul Nagel, Greg Shinners, yourself, many other co-drivers, they all have helped me along the way, and it's an honour really.
It's a lovely team to go into as well, M-Sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I remember walking in there last March before the ERC, and everyone's friendly. We're all similar. We're all there for the love of the sport, and this year's no different. It's a bigger team travelling to bigger rallies, but it's the exact same. It's a family environment. Everyone's very fun, so it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
You look forward to Canaries now. That's next on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for Canaries. It's the first rally that we'll do in this that I've been to before, so that's a bit comforting. So it's brilliant. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Some dry tarmac, hopefully dry, and some good sun. So yeah, it'll be nice to see this machine on dry tar and hit the Canarian Mountains.
Perfect. Best of luck, Owen. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Mr. Miller, great to see you over in Ireland.
Not been for a while, so there was no necessary requirement for me to come, but I always like coming over to Ireland. I used to love coming over for the events with the Fiesta Sporting Trophy and things, so yeah, good to be back.
It's great to see, Motorsport Ireland on the car, obviously. Great to see. I was talking to Josh Mackerley, and his family are steeped in rallying, and of course M-Sport as a team, I know from when I was in it 10 years ago in WRC2, what it is that it's a real family atmosphere. It's a lovely team to start his Rally 1 journey, and says you to continue his Rally 1 journey.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit funny, we were just talking about that, it was a long time ago, and last time that we were working together you were in the team, and I think not a lot's changed really, a few people doing different roles and things, but ultimately the way we operate and the way we like to do things is still the same, and giving opportunities to youngsters as well, and that's exactly what we've done again this year, and I think it's paying off again. It's a really nice atmosphere within the team. There's a lot less pressure when you have juniors in the team, but we're still able to show that we can fight for good results, and I think what we've seen so far this year from Josh and Owen has been probably above expectation, if I'm honest, for everybody, so that's fantastic to see, and 3 rallies in with 3 good results. Okay, some unfortunate things happen, but that's life, and Kenya is especially tough and difficult, but generally the pace has been incredible to watch.
It's great, and obviously we won't look too far ahead because I have a day in the life with you only in about 10 days time or less than 2 weeks time. The new regulations, M-Sport traditionally are always the first or best out of the blocks. When it came to the R5 car, the Fiesta is still one of the best bits of kit ever made, and it was ahead of the curve. Would you be excited about that, or there's still unknown, or what? Is there a plan there, we'll say?
I think there is a lot of unknowns still in the regs. There is a framework in place, but there's still a bit to be discussed, I think. So it's hard to know exactly where we are. Whether 2027 is achievable is probably the biggest question for all manufacturers, not just us. It's really not very far away. But I think the scope and the angle we're going forward with the regulations for the space frame, getting some cost out again, and making it a bit more simpler and a bit more achievable and accessible is the key to get more manufacturers, more high-level teams back in. What we have now is amazing. To watch these cars is the best.
It's just the price, obviously.
The price and the fact that we're we're probably one manufacturer short. Personally, I think 4 is a good number, and some privateer teams. But if we can get the base elements down a little bit so that we can get some more competition in, that would be fantastic. But I think enjoy these cars while we can, because I'm not sure how much longer we'll have this level of performance for a bit. But the bit for me is making sure we have close competition. That's the key. And the regs so far have been very good up until then. Watching WRC events now, it's within seconds of each other. It's incredible, really, when you think how long we're driving for. But yeah, we're very much open and looking at the new regulations all the time, because we want to be there, and the plan would be to be there with a new car, but we just need a bit more structure into them and the finalisation, so we know the business plan can work as well.
Listen, I'm not going to ask any more questions because I'm looking forward to seeing you in less than 2 weeks' time for a day in the life. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Richard.
Yeah, look forward to that.
John, a bit of a fun day today.
Yeah, it's really good to be here in Mondello with the MI Rally Academy. Big effort being put in to show the permanent of the FAA and inspire the Junior 1000 drivers who have got a brilliant opportunity in Ireland to drive in the forest. So now they can see the progression up through the academy, and it gives them an idea of the work involved. Like, there's no doubt you have to apply yourself, but if you do, there's a clear pathway now to go up to Rally 2 and then also to Rally 1 where Josh is.
Yeah, Niall McShea was saying earlier, we were talking to him, things have obviously got better every generation, but even for yourself, you're doing a lot of suck it and see, trying one thing, whereas now there is a ladder of opportunity, we'll say.
Yeah, there's a clear path, I would say. Even whenever 10 years ago, whenever I was starting out to proper stage rallying, it wasn't so clear how you could get to the pinnacle of the sport. And now, thanks to John Coyne and all the rest of the academy members supporting it, that we have an opportunity if you have the speed and you can show your progression and you can make it all the way to the top. And yeah, it's just brilliant to have this in Ireland, because I think for a long time we were envy of other countries, especially the French Federation. So yeah, to be able to inspire the younger generation is brilliant. And here today, the weather hasn't played ball, but we've all had fun, and there's loads of aspects to learning, like the fitness, a bit about how to prepare yourself for the stages, and yeah, hopefully they can learn a wee bit from us guys too.
Pushing Junior 1000 champion, you got to run the Rally 1 car, Puma, running the Rally 2 Hyundai. How has it been?
Oh, it's been unreal. Hey, just thanks to everyone for giving the run of the Rally 1. It was just mad. Like, Josh was just firing her about everywhere and late in the brakes. Oh, it was class. Unreal. And the Rally 2 too was unreal as well.
Brilliant. Of course, you're in with Josh McAuley and John Armstrong. It's great to see them at work.
It's class. Thanks for them to come and giving us tuition as well. And it's just unreal.
It's been a great journey so far. Obviously, it was your debut year last year in the Junior Thousands. You won the championship. You were also in Norway since we last seen you.
Yeah, I was in Norway there for the Craig Breeden Foundation Award, and I'm going to Portugal now in 2 or 3 weeks to go to.
What's on in Portugal?
We're going. Craig Breeden sent us out to go and watch a round of the Portuguese Championship, and then Chris Meek is taking me for me to drive in a test, and he's sitting on. So
what are you driving?
I think it's a Hyundai i20 Cup car. So right,
some experience at what age? 17?
16, turned 16.
Just turned 16.
Yeah, just turned 16. So
living the dream. I'm sure you had envy of all your schoolmates.
Yeah, I think so.
And you also you're not just. We're going to. Quick one on football. Derry City, you're also in goal with Derry City underage squad.
Yeah, I've been with Derry now 3 years, and I just took a scholarship for 2 years to go to school in Derry for starting in September. So I'm going
so you're changing schools?
I'm changing schools into the north, so I'm going full time in football then from next year on.
And you'll have to commute to Derry every day, will you, to school?
Yeah, just into Derry for school, 3 days a week of school and 2 days of full training. So.
It's hard to balance everything.
It's hard to then get off for the weekends to come and do stuff like this here as well. So I'll see.
I'd say your calendar is quite busy. So
we're training there 3 nights a week with Derry, and then trying to get time then to come here and take weekends off to come here and do that. So it's hard, like it's not easy, but try and do our best anyway.
Eamon, you're on a bit of tuition duty today.
Trying anyway, yeah. It's great. This is the 3rd year in a row now. We've done this with the J1000s. It's a great part of the academy that they're involved in the young ones as well. Yeah, it's all things from just trying to get them to do something as simple as handbraking around a cone and preparing them for future city stages or super specials. There's a reason for all of this stuff, and then they'll be out on track later, and we'll try and apply some of the driver tuition as well. So it's a great opportunity for them, and they're all really eager to learn, and they all listen, which is really good. It shows how willing they are to try and make progress, and they all want to try and climb climb the ladder to an extent. So it's great. It's all thanks to the work the academy have done.
It's brilliant, the network though they're creating, the academy, from junior 1000 to yourself on the the junior WRC level, and the link there, that all these guys are meeting you and getting to spend time with you and getting your experience.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's we've been extremely fortunate to be involved in the academy over the last few years, and it's great to apply what we've learned, and you learn so much over the years. Any driver does, and I've been very fortunate to go abroad, the same as William and Josh and John there, and you pick so much up, and it's nice to be able to then offer bits and pieces of tips that have maybe become second nature to us that we've only learned in recent years, and these lads can pick up at the age of 14, 15. It just makes them better drivers for the future, and it makes Irish rallying stronger, hopefully too.
We're just chatting to Eamon Kelly there. It's saying the link is fantastic from guys in Rally 2 cars, WRC experience, very successful on the world stage, giving their time back within the academy pyramid.
Yeah, well, the academy has done so much for me. It's only right that we get involved. But yeah, it's amazing to see. I think there's 25 or 26 juniors here today. It's whenever I was doing it, you were lucky to get 6 or 7. So, the opportunity available to the young boys and girls is pretty special. So, and it doesn't have to be the Irish forestry. There's so many different disciplines that you can use the cars in. So yeah, it's good fun. Trying to do a few handbrakes out in the paddock. So we'll try and avoid the cones.
Jack Harris, you're on a bit of tuition duty as well today.
Tuition duty's there today. That's what I was saying to Eamon there funny earlier. Just 2 years ago, I was here by myself getting tuition, so now it's kind of it's giving the feedback back now again, so it all works in a full circle.
It's great to see these young guys. I know you're not much older than them, but it's an incredible programme, the Junior 1000 programme, and over 30 of the drivers registered this year in the championship.
Yeah, there's 30 of them, and like what I was saying is the pathways available there now. They can all see it, like from J1000 up to Rally 1, so it's good, encouraging to see, and I think that's why there is so many numbers there, because they see it as possible, so it's good to see.
Kyle, you're obviously a graduate from the Junior 1000 programme, but isn't it great to be giving something back, no more than Eamon, and all the other academy drivers today to the Junior 1000s?
Yeah, exactly. Look, we did 2.5, 3 years of it, and look, it's great to do it at the time. And then when you see all these younger people doing it, you kind of brings you back on what they be thinking about and looking forward to getting going. And this is a big day for them, big day for us, big day for the academy. It's good to see so many J1000s here, and look, it's great to give them a hand, doing a bit of auto testing here in the background. So it's good, and it's good to see all the different levels, and everybody's learning so much. But it's a great day. The weather's not the best, but it'll not stop none of us. So,
Alan Heary, Performance Director of the Motorsport Ireland Rally Academy. It's been a great success so far.
Oh, it's been absolutely brilliant, and it's been fantastic to watch the progression over the years. And today is absolutely spectacular. We're here in Mondello, and we have the J1000, so you're starting to get to see the rally driver starting off, and then looking at the likes of Josh, and you get to see where you can go to. It's amazing. It's brilliant.
A lot of your background would be, correct me if I'm wrong, in the psychology of the process and getting people to get over the psychological battles. And a lot of people think rallying is like reckless, but it's very calculated sport, and 98% of rallying is in your head, and the mind playing tricks with you. So I suppose, how has that been for you working in the environment? I think you're mostly boxing, cycling. Is that your background?
Yeah, I work with multiple sports. So I've worked with a lot of professional boxers, professional cyclists, triathletes, and many different sports. But the motorsport is fascinating to work with, and it's brilliant to actually do it with the guys. But when it comes to mental fitness coaching, so I kind of wear 2 hats with the academy. One is the performance director, so we make sure that we have the fitness and the nutrition and looking at the human performance, and then the mental fitness side of it, where if you look at fitness, we're looking at strength and speed and suppleness and stamina and skill, which is all required for the car. But then you also need confidence and concentration and commitment and control and courage, and so that's what we work through when we're actually working with the academy guys as well. So,
is there ever a challenge that you would have someone that has a barrier to some of the suggestions or the processes that you have, thinking, well, how does this make sense? When they have to write stuff down, like for people to buy into it, we'll say, into the strength of the psychological advantage someone can have, and getting overcoming some of the challenges they have in their heads.
Yeah, I think one of the first things to do is just exactly what I've said there. It is the same as doing physical training. So we look at it as training. We don't look at it as somebody has a problem and then you need to come and see someone like me. That's not the way that works. It's all about improving performance. And so we're eking out things like how do you improve your concentration within the car, or sometimes you can have an incident or you're coming back from injury and you're looking to build that confidence back. And so we look to develop that. But I think the first thing is to help everybody understand that it is just a part of training. And once they understand that, then they buy into it fairly quickly. Like our Academy members are absolutely fantastic and they seem to really enjoy it.
Art, I see a great demonstration there of the safety procedures in rallying there in front of all the Academy members.
Yeah, look at, like, we can teach them all we can about, you know, driving. That's kind of the easy bit, but it's everything else around the sport. And a day like today is a great day to do it, because when you're in an atmosphere like this amongst your peers, you're kind of, it's a bit better a learning environment. You know, when you hear all that stuff at drivers briefing, yes, you have to say it, but you all know your mind is somewhere else. So to take the little bit of extra time, go through some of the practicalities, explain to them what we're dealing on the other side too. Really important to do that. And especially with the J1000s, you know, in the forests, they're the first cars into the stages.
Correct, yeah.
You know, so they're, you know, the Declan Boyles and the Desi Henrys in the woods, if you wanted to be blunt about it. So they actually have a really, really important role to play in our events. So, look, really good to be here on a day that, you know, a lot of people give out about the sport, but there's an awful lot good about it too, you know.
Dermot Sheridan, you are involved in the fitness side. We've seen you giving some great class lessons to some of the students there, the Academy members there earlier today. Tell us a bit about your role within the Academy.
Yeah, so I look after the fitness coaching in regards to the drivers at our Academy. I suppose one of our main thing is to emphasise the demands of motorsport and how grueling rally can be for the driver and the co-driver, and then what the drivers can do to better prepare for themselves going into that.
Do you find it, like, obviously it's a unique sport, there's lots of different demand in the lengths of days, there's demand in the different, you know, endurance fitness. Is that, like, working with Academy members, I'm sure when they start off you're dealing with all levels. Is that a challenge, or does everyone buy into it, I suppose?
I think it is a challenge. To sort of, first thing is to get them to know that they're athletes. You know, as you said there, rally is an extremely demanding sport. Whether it's a multi-day event or a single-day event, you're talking about 12-hour days, 6 to 8 stages. You know, we're looking at some of the data from the drivers, and their heart rates are that equivalent to a football player. They go through that in different phases, and like the demands across the event is like 3,500 calories per day. So you're talking about the equivalent of running a marathon. These guys go through in regards to energy demands and heart rate demands. So getting that message across is first. Once you get that across, then working from there with regard to having a structured way to do this. We have to prepare. Some parts is very generic, you know, cardiovascular fitness is one, but the strength and the different types of body parts that are involved in driving have to be specifically trained for that. So we're getting there with that education piece. It was really refreshing to see the J1000 drivers have a good awareness, and I think that's probably due to the fact that there's a lot more, I suppose, media coverage of the demand of the drivers and not just the car. So that's definitely coming across.
I don't think probably anyone that's watching this realises how important fitness is in regard to their performance and the drop-off of performance. I mean, you see some drivers out there and the spike and then the drop, because obviously their body's in shock if they don't do any training, then they go doing an event, and then, you know, it's totally understandable why they start making mistakes. Their body can't cope with the load that they're putting on themselves on a random Sunday if they're not doing training. So regardless of whether they're Academy members, if they're partaking in motorsport, you know, you have to highlight how important it is to be fit.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. So you'll get away with that maybe over a one-day event where you'll drift off, but your, you know, cognitive performance, your ability to respond to, you know, especially co-driver's instructions or concentrate on what you're doing, is all determined by the levels of energy you have. And, you know, anything within this causes you increased demand in energy, and that can lower your performance cognitively. Reaction times go down, and obviously fatigue is one thing that has started happening to these guys. What we are getting, the message is easier got across when they do the multi-sport events out in the continent, because they realise, like, okay, to perform and to stay at that is much harder across a multi-day. So you take 5 days recceing, getting ready, 3 days of rallying, and if you're not adequately prepared training-wise, you will find that. And then the other side of this is nutrition. and sleep. You know, it becomes then, and that's what we talk. They are athletes. They need to train accordingly. They need to fuel accordingly, and then they need to rest appropriately in order to maintain high levels. And that's the piece that I'm in charge of trying to bring home. And we're very lucky that with some of the guys, the way they're competing at the moment, that they are, I suppose, they're great echoes for me when I say that now. The guys around the continent tell them that, you know, fitness is a really important part of this, because the athlete behind the wheel is as important as the car. And that message has really got out there. But for anybody who's just competing on a weekend basis in Ireland, like, it's got to do with your sleep, how you're approaching that, being adequately fueled and recovered. Have you got a strategy around that? And yeah, it will really improve your performance if you can do that.
Thanks very much for your time, Dermot.
Thank you.
Niall McShea, good to see you at a Motorsport Ireland Junior 1000 Academy Day. There wasn't these things back in your day. I'm sure you were thinking here, if I was young again.
Yeah, Gillian, like it's absolutely fantastic what Motorsport Ireland and the Academy is doing here for all these young people. I was just remarking earlier on, my first time ever in a proper car was with you at Kankinen in the Silverstone Rally Sprint car circuit in a WRC Escort. And just for all these young people to see what it's like now, you know, with the guys here with this Rally 1 car, you know, and Josh, it's amazing for them, you know. So it's just
This is the Premiership here, like, you know, the World Championship.
Absolutely, like from the from the grassroots bottom end of it, from just beginners, they can see what the top level is. So it's absolutely fantastic for them, you know. And everybody's here and helping organise different exercises and different things, trying to educate them. The people with some experience are helping the ones below that. The guys with more experience are helping those guys. So it's a brilliant concept.
It's a great concept, as you said, that you know, when you look back at your career, you know, you would have done a lot of hard work yourself, trying to get sponsorship, trying to make stuff happen. But to see the career path here, I know there was, you know, a few one-make championships, but you see the way the progress is there now. There is a pyramid for the young guys to develop, and if they're quick in one thing, the chance are they'll be quick in the next step.
Yeah, 100%, Gillian. Yes, it was very, very different when I was doing things, you know, and it was nearly only when I got to the World Championship that you start to realise that there were people like, you know, Richard Burns, and you know, you could ask for help and different things, and then opportunities would come up and you get to know the people. Now with John Coyne and the Academy and Sean and everybody, what they're all doing, putting this all together, being able to educate them much earlier to show them, you know when you like anything,
so they don't learn the hard way all the time.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, the way young people, yes, you know, if you can teach them the right thing at the beginning, you know, they soak it up like a sponge and do they're already on the correct route, where before, you know, it was muddy water, you had to sort of try and find a way. So this is amazing for them. I'm delighted for all of them, you know, and it has to, you know, I can only imagine what it's like. I can see the excitement in all of them, you know, my young fella included, James, you know, so it's...
I see James is doing great things, the Junior 1000, obviously at his debut. New car this year, been a try and start of the year. What's it like now to be on we won't say the man, but the father of someone rallying?
Yeah, Killian, like, right, so he's at it like almost 2 years now, you know, since he was 13. He's had lots of success on the RSA stuff, and then to move up to... Last year we did Clare, I think. Clare
was your first one. You were navigating.
Yeah, like, and Kelly, you know how bad I am in the passenger seat of the car, so he did very well there. He went quite well, and he was going well on the first event, but you know, lack of experience, and he was lucky to get all the miles of the rally. He only went off 1 mile before the end of the stage. That knocked his confidence a lot. You know, he's 15. Any 15-year-old confidence, like whenever I was 25, my confidence was able to be knocked. Yeah. So it'll take a wee while for him to come back. So he had a good rally at the weekend. Didn't put a mark on the car. I think he learned more over the weekend than you would in 3 events. You know. So hopefully he'll be able to pick up his pace again.
Listen, good talking to you, and we'll see you during the year.
You too, Kelly. Thank you.